How's it going, Ready Fam? It's Bebop here, and welcome to episode 14. Today, joining me is one of our most celebrity guests yet. I am excited to welcome on Hana, aka Crop It Like It's Hot. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I am excited to have you here. I can't wait to dive into these topics. Rave fashion is something I don't know that we've done enough of on Ready VIP. And on episode 12 of Ready VIP, we had Hurricane Raver Mariah as our afters guest, and she kind of threw you under the bus. She was like, "You, you need to interview my friend Hannah." But she was absolutely right. Couldn't have been more on with the wonderful person you are and the wonderful story you have to tell. And I'm so excited that you're here to tell it. So, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I've known her since I started basically. She's one of my day one customers. And so it's been really nice to like be customer, seller, then internet friends, and then actual friends as we've met up a lot and have made time for each other whenever we're traveling.
She's awesome, and I've seen the video of you guys hanging out. I know it hits her
Yeah.
Insta reel every so often, headbanging. I'm like, oh hey, I know her now too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll get into your adventures and shenanigans later, but first, on Ready VIP, one of the things we like to start with is people's origin story. And you have quite an incredible story to tell. So please, Hannah, where did this all begin for you? You didn't just start out rave fashion queen, did you?
No, I didn't. I started out coming back from 3 years living abroad in London.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was basically on my way back just for a visit to my mom's house in February 2020.
Mm.
And then, as a lot of us know, the world shut down. So I couldn't go back. I had all of my clothes, my whole life, my apartment that I was still paying rent
Oh,
on.
man.
London rent is not cheap. I had my ex-boyfriend who I was still living with because he and I are still super close, but I had everything except for my small carry-on suitcase that I brought back to California in London. And again, as we all know, that time wasn't short.
No.
So it was over there for about 2 years. And I love socializing. I'm just an extrovert. Like people consider me like kind of like an inside out extrovert introvert because I love hanging out with people. I've been told I have the personality of an introvert, but I have the social battery of an extrovert. So the fact that I couldn't go spend time with people, couldn't go to festivals, couldn't go to circus, I was freaking out, completely like crashing out at my mom's house. And just, I didn't have any of my stuff. I had my old room. And so as a hobby and just to kind of keep myself from going crazy, I started tie dyeing and braiding clothes. And I
Nice.
knew how to braid from high school because when I was in high school, I went to a very hippie school and one of the instructors taught me how to braid at one of our retreats. Um, so that was just like a weird skill that I had in my back pocket, and I started doing it. And I was also pretty in debt at the time because I had no job. I was a
Mm.
little bit behind on credit card payments. I was still having to pay a lot of money every month for my apartment that wasn't being lived in.
Oh, my God.
So I was pretty not financially stable. I think I was 23 at that point, 24 maybe. Um,
What? You weren't financially stable at 24?
I know. Well, for me anyway,
Crazy.
a lot of my friends started working at 22
Mm,
at a big girl job right out of college. So a lot of my friends at 24 were financially stable
okay,
or at least getting there.
that's fair.
Um, and a lot of my friends went on scholarship too, so they didn't have debt. So I felt
Mm,
very behind personally.
that's real.
Um, so yeah, I started making clothes. It was fun. It was a good way to kill time. It was a good way to just kind of be creative. I've always loved the style. And then I started putting it on Facebook Marketplace, on my Instagram. I eventually made a Instagram for my business and stuff, just because in my really small hometown in California, not a lot of people wear clothes that
Mhm.
show a lot of skin. It did okay though, like on Facebook Marketplace and on a lot of like the swap shops and stuff. So that was nice. But it was a good a good boost, a good stepping stool. And then once I got into the rave community and made my Instagram, started following ravers, festival goers, influencers, all of that, it really took off. And then I was doing that for the rest of 2020. And then in spring 2022, I contacted a probably one of the biggest influencers that we have in our community, Sunflower Raver.
Mm-hmm.
And she wore my shorts to take pictures in, of course, the crop top matching. It was like a rainbow and black set.
Shout
And
out Sunflower Raver, yeah.
it really popped off. She really put me on the map for festival wear. And then she also kept wearing my shorts doing shuffling videos, like shuffle dance videos,
Nice.
because they are amazing. So if yeah, anybody ever wants to dance, do pole, do aerial, all of my bottoms are great for that. Um,
Oh, nice.
so that's like a good to know thing. So she, like I said, really put me on the map. We met up for photo shoots at Ember Shores. We just stayed in contact. I will always be so grateful to her for putting, like, making my name known, basically, because everyone wanted those shorts, everyone wanted those tops. And then I just kept growing steadily. At the time, after COVID was kind of not over, obviously, but we kind of reopened the world, I had a part-time job at my high school work, which was like a science toy store. That's like a whole other lore. But in 2022, I hit this point where I was working 4 days a week, and I was
Mm,
like, I don't have time to grow with my business anymore. And so I quit my part-time job, which was my day job, I
mm-hmm.
guess. Um, Mainly had that day job to pay my London rent still. And then, yeah, end of 2022, or end of 2021, yeah, I quit that. And then into 2022, I started growing steadily. I knew I wanted to move to San Francisco, but I didn't really know how I was going to afford that. Didn't really know if this was going to make it. But I was like, if it's going to make it, I have to put everything I have, all of my money, all of 7 days, all 24 hours pretty much
That's real.
of the
Hell yeah.
week. Like I just went balls to the wall with it. And eventually in early 2023, I was able to move to San Francisco and move out of my mom's house. So this was a timeline of 3 years growing my business to be able to sustain me. And I look back at my mom and I are very close, and I look back to 2020 and how like I made lemonade. Like
Yes.
I fully made lemonade because like I said, in debt, COVID, pandemic, starting a business during COVID is insane, by the way.
Mm, yeah.
Like that was definitely a choice, but it was kind of by necessity because I didn't have any clothes. And
Mm.
part of the reason why I didn't have any clothes is because they were all abroad. And so I made clothes, and I refused to have a crop topless summer. Like I
Yeah.
was not going to be at home in like weird winter clothes. And like, I mean, London and California have very different weather.
Yes.
So
Drastically.
drastically. So yeah, I mean, I was basically using old tank tops from high school, cutting them up, selling them, using that money to buy more tank tops, using that to buy more shorts and
Nice.
stuff, finding like ethical, good sourced places that like obviously weren't super expensive because
That's tough.
I don't want to charge too much, but
Yeah.
also were um like good quality and we're going to last. And that's one thing I really pride myself on, is that a lot of people are like, this is like 5 years of wearing my clothes, multiple festivals, like your stuff holds up so well. And that's like
Awesome.
amazing to hear. Um, so yeah, it was just a weird thing how I was at a pretty low point in my life, honestly. And then it bloomed into this because I did not plan on turning that hobby into a business. And it's like my whole identity now. So
You
a
didn't
lot,
plan
yeah,
for it, but then you committed fully to it. And that
I
is
did. Yes.
the biggest, I think, thing is a lot of people will see the success and think, wow, she made it and people got her out there. And it's like the 7 day a week thing is so hard and so real. And the blood, sweat, and tears of like, you know what? I could be clocking out right now and I could go watch TV or whatever, but I can't because I own this business. This is me. I'm
Yeah.
putting everything into it and there is no holding back. And when you do that, like the universe aligns for you. It's like, get out of my way. I'm coming to you.
Yeah. My motto, the first few years especially, it's still my motto now, but it's a little bit less make or break.
Mm,
But when I was first starting, my motto for myself, as far as drive went, was they're not going to go to the festival naked. So if somebody was like, I have a Lost Lands order or I have a Base Canyon order, like I
Hmm.
know I just put it in yesterday. Can you make it for me? I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to that lunch then, or I'm not going to be going to bed yet, or I'm not going to make it to circus. Like
Mm.
I am going to stay home and make this instead. And I prioritized my business like every single step of the way, which is hard because
Yeah, it
like
is.
I have a life too and I have plans and stuff, but if somebody wants their outfit and it's not going to make it for them, I will do pretty much whatever I have to get it out there, which is why I have like a very loud, like, this is my wait time right now. And obviously, of course, people have last minute things slip through the cracks. People didn't see that I have a wait time.
Hmm.
But yeah, I will do pretty much whatever I can to make sure that they get it on time because, again, they're not going to go to the rave naked. Pretty close to, but
You know,
you get my point.
I totally get your point. And you're wearing one of your fits right now. Speaking of
I
like not going
am.
to the interview without it, it's great. So that belief, how did that get you to Paris Hilton? Because like we're still not there yet. There's still a big story to tell.
Yeah. So this is going to kind of trickle into my personal life, why I ended up near Paris Hilton, because I was living in San Francisco. Um, and that's like, yeah, my love life basically.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
I moved to San Francisco. I was just kind of like doing my thing. I had really put roots down. I found an amazing circus gym, shout out the Hive SF,
Nice.
and had a lot of friends, had a lot of just really good people around me. And then I went to EDC in May and
Oh,
I
snap.
stumbled into, or more like he stumbled into us, but my boyfriend Rob just kind of side quested my friend Elodie, who is in a lot of my posts and stuff. She saw this lost boy wandering around and like he was just like looking around at everybody and she just kind of waved at him because he looked like he was looking for his friends and he just came up to us and he was like hi and we ended up hanging out dancing. Fast forward a few months, I tried like we obviously caught feelings,
Hmm.
spoiler alert. And um
Shocker.
shocker, super shocking.
I love
And
it.
yeah, he just was very much so like this is it. Like this is
Hmm.
like we need to make this work somehow. So we were down here living with his grandma and she very courteously welcomed me into her home. I had my own studio space. He and I shared his room. Um, Gorgeous garden to take photos in. A lot of people know what those are like. And then we were just wrapping up the year to go back. Um, we knew that we were going to be here a little bit longer, which wasn't planned, but like nothing ever is. And then
Hmm.
January 7th hit and our house burned down
Oh man.
in the Eaton fire.
I'm sorry to hear
um,
that. That is world
yeah,
changing, life shattering.
it was. I thought the pandemic was low with me having all my stuff abroad. At least it was still there.
Mm.
Um, I've never had I've never felt the loss and um that feeling of just everything is gone. I mean, when we saw the fire through the trees of our yard, we were like, we got to go now. Like there was not, we
Mm.
didn't even get an evacuation notice because the fire was moving so fast. We lived near Eaton Canyon, about a mile away, and the winds that night were 80 to 100 miles an hour. So
Wow.
it was going through buildings and trees fast. And because of the wind, all the embers from the fire were lifting over and sailing away and then lighting other things on fire really fast. So I basically left with my purse, my phone chargers, my phone, my laptop, and less than a week's worth of clothes. And one of the saddest things that I remember when we were leaving was obviously being in denial because we were like, we'll be back tomorrow. There was this weird disconnect that
Yeah.
we were going to be back in the morning and that I was only needing to take as many clothes as to last us like a week or so. And I remember walking into my studio space and like the power had gotten cut because everything was burning around us. And I remember looking and I was just like, what if I don't see this again? Like, what if we're not back tomorrow?
Mm,
And there was this weird thought where I was like, I wanted to just take the whole room with me because, like, I had one of a kind outfits. I had stock. I had all of my personal clothes. I had my jewelry. I had my mom's heirloom stuff. I had a lot of stuff in my room. I had photos, I had Polaroids. I had keepsakes from London, from Burning Man. Like, I had so much stuff
mm,
in my room. Um, and I just was looking at this, all these things that like started my business, like the mannequins that I had like grown up with my business. My business had like
hmm.
grown up with that. All of my everything was just gone. And it was so weird, like knowing, like in hindsight, that I had that moment where I was just like, this could be it. Like I might not come
Yeah.
back here and everything will be gone. And yeah, we heard the next morning that our whole block burned down. Um, we went back the next morning and it was a two-story Spanish style, pretty big house. And it was so weird to like walk through all of the rubble, some of which was still on fire.
Mm,
And the I walked to the layout of where my room was, and I could see my mirror that I took all of my marketing selfies in, and everything was just shattered all around like the driveway
dang.
and stuff. And I used to have these wire cubicles that would hold all of my inventory, and those were like curled like weird trees or something, like dead plants kind of, because all the wire had just melted and curled itself in and everything was just ash around it. So that was super weird, like literally walking into and on top of like melted mannequins, melted tables, melted camera equipment. All of my like inventory and everything was ash. Like glitter was just gone. Like everything was just, it was
Mm,
very like post-apocalyptic. It was not fun revisiting the house right after the fire. Um, and I was just, yeah, completely in despair. Um, and that's kind of where this community came in, is that I texted everybody I knew. I put on my story like pictures of the fire and was like, my house just burned down. You all know I work from home. I'm closing my shop possibly forever. Please get the word out because I still have open orders and I don't want anyone thinking that I'm ghosting them or scamming them, because there have been issues with that in the community where like small businesses like are like, I'm a small business, and then they just like take their money and close the door. So I didn't want any of that getting around. And I also just didn't want people who have supported me feeling like I maybe just like forgot their order.
mm, yeah.
So people were able to share it. I think I've had more shares on that post than ever. And people got the word out, and people were also like, make a GoFundMe, please. Like, let's help you. And our friend, shout out Vince, who's a firefighter, made us a
Shout out
GoFundMe.
Vince.
Shout out Vince. And he was like, I think the bio of our GoFundMe was like, I'm a firefighter. I'm helping fight the Eaton
Mm,
Canyon and Palisades fire right now. My friends Rob and Hana just lost everything. They have literally nothing. This is a donation for her small business and just for their lives right now because they don't have even like socks.
oh my gosh.
So people just started pouring in. I was like, obviously, I was crying for a lot of reasons, but I was mainly crying because so many people were giving donations. I mean, we had a few big ones, and I'm so appreciative for that. And most of them were from like my family and close friends. But the thing that really was just like still brings me to tears, and every time I've like written like grant applications, I think about this, is there were a lot of like $10 to $50 donations, like lots of
Wow.
just like people, I mean, hundreds of little donations of just like what people could afford and stuff.
People who
And
believed in you.
people who believed in me, who wanted us to get back on our feet. I put all this information on Facebook too. And like there's like a lot of rave Facebook groups that I'm on. And a
Hmm.
lot of people were like, give us your address. What's your size? What's your boyfriend's size? Like, and they sent us so much clothes. Like we have so many clothes, so many rave outfits. Cause they were
That's
all like, you
awesome.
lost your rave closet. Let's send you makeup. Let's send you shoes. Let's send you all this stuff. And, I had people sending me, yeah, lots of rave outfits, lots of, everyday clothes. I'm totally blanking on her username, on their username, but, they sent me scissors, a fabric cutter, a ruler, and basically all of my everyday tools that I need
Awesome.
for getting started. And that was like, I cried a lot when I got the mail
Mm.
though during that time, because I was within like the first 2 weeks of the fire burning. But a lot of, yeah, I mean, having that care package arrive, they didn't tell me either. They were just sent all of like the seam ripper stuff and everything. I just opened it, started bawling because it was like a vote of confidence that like we need you back in the community. Like we want you to keep going and stuff, because they knew that I was probably going to close my shop, because I was like, there's no way I can afford to do this, um, because none of my stuff was covered by insurance. That was one thing I forgot to add, is that because I wasn't
Mm.
technically family, I wasn't covered by the homeowner's insurance. So
No.
yeah, sorry, I'm telling a little bit of this out of order as
No,
far
it's
as
okay.
importance, but yeah, I mean, there was, aside from the fact that none of my personal effects were covered, my business was also not covered. And
Mm.
when I was writing up information on like how much I would need, I was like, this startup amount is in the double digits. There's no way I was going to be able to come up with this. And a couple people sent me Paris Hilton's, like, I'm doing a grant for women-owned small businesses, and Spun Glasses, I think, was the main business, who was like, girl, you need to apply.
Mhm.
And I was like, sure, why not? This is like a super easy application video. And that was when things got really going, because, yeah, like Paris shared my application video.
No
Just in the
way.
interim of going through the applications,
Nice.
she shared
Okay.
everybody's video.
Cool.
But basically, yeah, they had 11, her nonprofit is called 1111 Media Impact. Shout out
Hmm.
them for sure. They were going to award 11 women owned businesses $25,000.
Nice.
And that was going to cover it for my business. And I wish I could describe the feeling that I felt when I woke up and I had an email saying congratulations. And the coolest thing about her nonprofit is that they had, I think, over 150 applicants, and they couldn't just pick 11. So they ended up awarding 50 women owned businesses.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. So they
That's
awarded,
amazing.
I think they awarded um, the first 11 women owned businesses the 25K. And then they awarded the rest of us a smaller amount, which still covered my startup expenses. So Paris paid for all of my startup
Awesome.
costs,
Shout out
which was
Paris.
incredible. And I was, yeah, over the moon. I was like crying. I was like shaking. I was just so excited. I was like, I can do this now. This isn't going to mean that I can't buy toothpaste. Like, because I was like, how am I going to, like, I could maybe buy like a small amount of inventory and stuff. And I didn't have like my table, my mannequins. And mannequins are expensive. Mannequins are hundreds of dollars.
Hmm.
Um, and then, yeah, I was just kind of like riding cloud nine for that. And then the main part of this whole story was when I got a DM from Paris saying, basically like, hey girl, love your clothes. Congratulations again on the grant. You deserve it. I'm going to Coachella. I'm going to Stagecoach. I want these outfits and I'm going to wear them there. And
Yeah.
that's the photo that is the cover of our collab post on Instagram.
Which will show that photo right here. Bing.
And she killed it. I mean, yeah, she wore my Onyx cat suit and my shrug. I sent a whole bunch of other clothes that she liked too, and she has not worn those yet, but I'm sure she will at some point because she goes to festivals a lot. She's a DJ. I didn't know that
Hmm.
she was a DJ for
Yeah.
a long time.
I would love to interview her, by the way, Paris, if you're watching. Just saying. What a story
Yes, if
that would
I
be.
yes, that would be she has a lot of stories.
Hmm. But
Um
enough about her. We're still talking about you. So she gets out there in your bodysuit, and I'm sure things just explode from there. If shuffle videos getting you business.
yeah. So that was the other crazy thing, is that she didn't just wear the outfit to Coachella, she wore the outfit to Neon Carnival at
Oh,
Coachella,
damn.
which is like the private exclusive, like you can't even buy a ticket to go to Neon Carnival. It's
Mm.
like the
Invite
event
only.
for celebrities, invite only,
Yeah.
like you can't just go. And so the fact that she wore it there, Rihanna asked her for the details of the cat suit afterwards, which was super cool.
Amazing.
Really hoping at some point I hear from her. Um,
Shout out Rihanna.
Shout out Rihanna. Yeah. And yeah, just everybody wanted the cat suit. And the thing that made me, I know that Mariah mentioned this in her episode, that I shut down my business for a little bit is that I reopened the day before she posted her Coachella
Oh, no
photos.
way. Perfect
So
timing.
I reopened with a sale because I was like, I want to give back to all of you who gave me donations and stuff. And just in
Hmm.
general, I want to celebrate. I'm open again. Thank
Of
God.
course. Yeah.
And so I had a sale, had like some obscene amount of orders within the first hour. Shout
Oh,
out all
shit.
you guys. And then the next day, while that sale was still running, I get a collab request from Paris, and all of
Hmm.
her media team was like, "It's up. Here's the photos. Here's this." And I was like, "Oh my God." And I, just to kind of like put things in perspective a little bit, like I have like X amount of orders where
Hmm.
I'm the busiest part of my season. By the end of the weekend, I had over three times that.
Dang.
So I was freaking out. Like I was legitimately freaking out, like breathing into a paper bag, kind of freaking out because I was like, I'm just me. I'm also not going to hire people. I also this new space that we moved into is still home. It's still a home I'm sharing with my boyfriend and his grandma. I'm not going to just invite somebody in to work with me 8 hours a
Hmm.
day. So this was all on me still. And yeah, I basically disappeared from my social life for 3 months and got to it. And
As you have to.
as I had to, yeah. And everybody wanted the cat suit. I mean,
Mm.
everybody wanted the Paris cat suit was, and if they didn't want that, they found other things in my shop that thought they looked cute, and just people were just shopping like crazy. And I will forever be grateful for that grant. And again, the grant wasn't even like, in a way, the grant wasn't even the best
Mm.
part. It was the fact that she wore my outfit and
Yeah.
was like including me in um her YouTube recap of Coachella. She was collabing with me on different posts of with whenever she was wearing it, she
Hmm.
collabed me on all those things. Um I don't know if we can link it, but she actually made an entire reel dedicated to you have to hear about my Coachella outfit
Send me
because
the link.
she
I'll put it in the comments.
okay. Yeah, because she basically made this whole thing about my whole story, and she was saying like she survived the wildfires, now she's popping off her small, like it was like
Yes.
it was incredible. Yeah,
That's
definitely
awesome.
worth a watch. You can hear some of my story in there too because they asked me to submit clips and everything, and it was just I've gotten to know her team, I've gotten to know her, I've gotten to know her husband. Everybody who works with her is so kind and so nice. And
Now, I don't
as
mean to oh, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but you also have some other wild Paris stories, right? Like you
Yes.
just shared one on your Instagram the other day, and like listening to it, you're just like, I've had a few of these wild rave experiences too. Are you okay sharing that with the audience?
Yeah, I have like three or four of them because I've hung out with her that many times. I don't know if you want
Nice.
to hear all of them or if you want to just hear
Are they as
the
crazy as showing up in the cat suit at her party at the mansion when everybody's not?
so the yes, that one's crazy. The one that is also crazy was my 30th birthday
Oh,
because
details.
okay. So it was my 30th birthday. She invited me to her 30th fragrance launch party at the Waldorf Astoria in Beverly Hills. That's like her
Hmm.
hotel rooftop party. Um, I show up there in a very like nice version of my clothes as far as like red carpetish goes. Like I
Okay,
was wearing like an A, I think it's called like an A-line skirt with like a bodysuit underneath it and like the shrug.
nice.
Um, and we get there, everyone again is dressed to the nines, and we get there. We're the first elevator up because I was talking to her team, and they were like, if you want time with her, get there get there at the beginning. So we were the first elevator ride up, probably with 25 people in there. The
Hmm.
elevator doors open. We come out. She's like in front of the giant thing that says Paris Hilton. I'm not fighting in that line to get photos because it was just mayhem. But there were like probably at this point like 40 people in a crowd. And I like look over at her and she looks over at me and I wave and I said, kind of just mouthed at her, thank you. And she waved at me and went like this. And to have Paris Hilton
Wave
call
you
you
over.
over
Yes.
through a sea of people who are waiting in line. But she was like, yeah, like she waved and stuff and had me come over and just the people like parted.
Amazing.
And I felt like really uncomfortable cutting people in line because I do not like cutting people in line. But I mean,
You're not cutting in line. She invited you.
she invited me, but it was
That's
still
that's
really
VIP
uncomfortable.
treatment.
Yeah. So as that's happening, all the cameras turn at all times. Paris always has like two boom mics, a ring light, multiple
Yeah.
photographers with DSLRs. So all of that turned towards me as I'm like walking forward. I completely black out at this point. And we just have like a little photo shoot moment and we talked and hung out for the first time. She had FaceTimed me
Hmm.
earlier in the week as I was coming up to like meet her and stuff because she wanted to meet me and stuff and then was like come to this party if you're available. And yeah, it was insane being up there with her. It was insane like meeting her and she's incredible. I She's so nice and so genuine. And I didn't notice until the next time we hung out with her when she invited us to, she was headlining Pride in West Hollywood.
Nice.
And we hung out with her in her trailer afterwards. I didn't know how silly she was. Like, she's like such a silly person. And it wasn't that I didn't expect it. I just didn't know that, like,
Hmm.
she has like of course she has like a certain image and stuff, but she's also like a very silly person. And I just love that.
That's amazing.
And yeah, so that was really cool just to like have that photo shoot moment and to like hang out and get some videos. And her photographers, oh my God, shout out Ashley Osborne. She is amazing and just always gets the best angles, like makes everything look so sparkly and fun. So
Awesome.
um, yeah,
Well,
so we had that.
that's crazy, but that's not as crazy as the other story. That story is
You
twice
don't
as
think
crazy.
so? No?
That story's
Okay.
cool. It's VIP, right? Like you get waved over by Paris. Cool. But the next story you're about to tell, I can rave to. Relate to because I have certainly had a few occasions where you dress, I guess, inappropriately, appropriately, I'm not sure. You dress for the occasion you expect and you show up and it's not quite what you expect.
Yeah. So, yeah, fast forward, and she invites us to her housewarming party because her
Mm-hmm.
house also burned down in Pasadena
Mm.
during the Eaton fire. And I get the invite and I email her team and I was like, hey, what's the dress code? What's the
Mm-hmm.
theme? And the whole invite says Midsummer Night's Dream. So I'm assuming something fairy like.
Yeah.
And so they get back to me and they said festival attire. And I was like, great, I have
Great.
that. That's literally like my entire thing. And so I make myself a cat suit, like my cotton candy cat suit. And I am me. So I cut it
Mm.
extra thong, like a lot of skin showing. I get some fairy wings, get a flower crown. I made Rob a slit weave shirt, which he ended up not wearing, which is really good at the
You
end
made them like
because
antlers and stuff too, right?
we had got him some antlers because they said festival attire. It said Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah,
I was going for fairy and like
as you should.
deer, fawn,
Yeah.
whatever. Like it's very
Faye.
fey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we roll up in the Uber after flying back from Lost Lands the same day, by the way. Like I was exhausted. Like it was so tiring. And we get out of the car outside of her mansion in Beverly Hills, and my ass is out. And I had one of Spun Glass's like sleeveless cardigans
Hmm.
made of pashmina, but nothing that I can tie around my waist or anything. And we get out, and I look around at the other Ubers that are pulling up and all the people that are getting out, and everyone is wearing like club wear, red carpet, dressed to the nines.
Oh man.
And I just looked at Rob and he just, I like, he realizes this is too, and he's taking off his antlers because he's like, we are not dressed for this. And I was like, what did their invite say? Like, I
It
was in
wasn't that.
awe. It
Yeah.
wasn't that because they're wearing like 5-inch sparkly stilettos and suits that are patterned and cost thousands of dollars, I'm sure. Everyone's hair is like just dressed to the nines. And I was like, our Uber like drove away at this point. And I was like, do we call another one to go home? Like, what is happening right now? And I kind of had like a little bit of a meltdown, not gonna lie, because I could not imagine rolling up to her housewarming party dressed in a handmade outfit, which there's nothing wrong with handmade, but it's not thousands of dollars. And
I mean, or is it? Some handmade, tailor-made girl. That's unique,
true,
one of a kind.
it is, yes. It was just, yeah, and it was interesting. I I'm not used to feeling like shame or embarrassment about what I'm wearing or
That's
feeling
fair.
out of place at all, really, because when I was in high school, like the dress code did not exist to me, and I went to a
Hmm.
hippie enough school that they were like, that's fine. Like they had a dress code, they didn't enforce it.
Dress
So
code.
I'm very used to just like self-expression, everything out there, do whatever
Awesome.
you want. And yeah, feeling out of place or not like I'm dressing for the occasion is not really in my like skill set of feelings.
Mm.
And having that happen for the first time on Paris's driveway was not like the best place to have that
Stage
happen.
5 anxiety.
Literally, yeah. And so I'm trying to figure out how to like wrap the thing around myself. I look stupid. I can't actually wear it and have her cover my butt because my wings are in the way.
Yeah.
So I'm just like going through different ways to try to look a little bit more covered up, and it's not happening.
Oh my God.
Her security guard, who is so kind, comes up and he was like, "Ma'am, are you okay?" And I was like, and Rob's telling me that I might want to just like take the wings off and put my outfit on. And I asked him, like, what's the vibe inside? Like, I
Hmm.
see everybody getting out of the cars in like amazing attire, expensive attire. I made this.
Hmm.
Like, what are people wearing in there? Is this literally how everybody else is dressed? And he looked at me and he was like, I mean, yeah, you're gonna stand out. And I was like, ah. And so it was just like, yeah, that did not help my anxiety. But um, yeah, so eventually I
Standing
settled.
out's a good thing though.
It is. And it turns out like eventually I just took the fairy wings off, put the cardigan on, walked up to the check-in counter, talked to them. I asked them like because they were all really dressed up,
Hmm.
but they looked like people who worked for her nonprofit.
Hmm.
And I was like, I have a question. Like I was told festival attire, and they were like, oh yeah, it's basically EDC in there. You're gonna be fine. Put your fairy wings back on. Paris is wearing fairy wings.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh great, okay. And they were like, don't worry, we know who you are. Just wear your cat suit. And I was like, that's so sweet. So I was like really happy that they like knew who I was, like recognize because the catsuit that I was wearing was like a lighter pinker, bluer version of the black one that she wore.
Hmm.
So they all knew who I was, which was like surprising and just
You're
yeah,
kind of a big deal.
very nice of them. They were very sweet. Um, yeah, so then yeah, we walked in. It was basically EDC there. I got to give her her housewarming gift, which was like a Midsummer Night's Dream colored orchid. I gave her a new jumpsuit that she wanted and a new pair of earrings because I'm starting to do that. And yeah, it
Nice.
was a really fun night. We got to meet some other designers of hers. So just yeah, having a really good time. Her house is incredible.
Mm.
Um,
I can
yeah,
only imagine.
hope I get to go again at some point. But yeah, it was quite the story, and it was really nice just because we've also hung out with her at Pride, and she had us come. She invited us into her trailer after she finished performing. We just hung out with
Nice.
her for like 30, 45 minutes,
Amazing.
and that was kind of where I got to see like I don't want to say the real her because she's a very genuine person, but
Hmm.
it was cool to just like hang out And
Yeah,
then when we finished that, we had the photo shoot, which I think I sent you a photo of as well. That's
you
me,
did.
Rob, and Paris. And I'm wearing my clothes. She has her rainbow outfit she performed in. Rob's wearing one of my shirts. And that whole interaction also became another collab reel on TikTok and Instagram. So
Nice.
she's just continuing to like collab with me and get my name out there, which is just, again, so grateful for the money from the grant to get me started. But this ongoing publicity that she keeps doing is just priceless. And yeah,
What a way to pay it forward into the community. Shout out Paris for like,
I know. Shout out Paris.
believing in your small business, believing in women, and also just being a good person all around. Like
Yeah,
that is what you hope people are like. The world
you
wants
would
to
hope
find
so.
you contrary all the time, but this is
Yeah.
one where we get to see the silver lining. Um, so thank you for sharing those stories. I know I can relate. I've certainly had a few moments where I've showed up to things in my rave attire and gone, "Oh, am I the only one?" I'm,
Hmm.
shout out to Zoo Tie Dye, right? Like this guy makes some incredible
Yes.
shirts, and I've showed up to a few events where I'm like, I'm just being hippie today, guys. This
Yeah.
is it. You're gonna get the real
Yeah.
me. And that's okay sometimes too. You're gonna stand out, and other people get to see what you're like, in that attire. So,
I don't mind standing out in most contexts. In fact, most of the time I am the overdressed one in the best way possible, or I like find the people there who are also dressed up that way.
hmm,
This was just a little bit different because of obviously the crash out exhaustion from coming back from Lost Lands,
that's real.
but also it's just a whole different environment in Hollywood, Beverly Hills.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. It was a lot though.
Tripping down the rabbit hole. So you mentioned your jewelry, but we'll talk a little bit about that in the end. I think the next thing we were going to talk about was your festivals, where you're going next, what you want to do in fashion, and where you see yourself going. So tell us after this, right? You've made your wonderful origin story. You have the rocket fuel with Paris behind you. Where are you going next?
Um, I'm honestly kind of just plugging along. Like I will say that things have kind of died down after, I would say after this like the end, like midsummer, things kind of died down a bit. Don't get me wrong, like I have like almost 10,000 more followers. So the rocket fuel is definitely still flying. But the crazy influx of orders has gone back to normal. I'm kind of curious how it's going to behave coming this festival season because more people know about me, more people know about my story, and so yeah, I'll see how that goes. Um, I've really kind of just taken this year to rest, honestly, after losing everything. And so I haven't really made too many big moves. I would say the
Mhm.
biggest move is um, starting a jewelry line to do accessories and stuff, but we can, yeah, touch on that later. But I would
She's
say
like,
that
I didn't make any big moves, just started another business.
it's it's like complementary because all of it
Okay.
kind of goes, but yes,
Okay.
it is a new adventure for sure. It's um yeah, and I've made a few new things. Like I have my Aurora line of clothes. I'm going to hopefully in the next month continue adding things to already existing lines. Um, I have a few collabs coming up with nothing's like super confirmed, but I think I'm going to be doing a collab line with Vanishing Faye, who is formerly known
Mm.
as Disco Lemonade. Um, I want to work with a few other creators that I know. I'm debating trying to get an ambassadors program going, but I'm a little bit nervous about that just because I don't really know who and how I want to go about that.
Mm.
But I would love to have people like have a code and everything. So I'm kind of trying to play with that. Um, Going into next year, I'm just going to hit it hard. Like I've purposefully taken this time for this year to just kind of coast and maintain what I have and continue growing, but slowly. But I'm hoping to like come out with a whole bunch of new stuff coming in January. And we have a few heavy braided festivals like Okeechobee and Gem and Jam that are happening that have not been happening the last year plus. So I'm hoping that will also kick things up. I'm just really excited for festival season, honestly. Like I got basically kneecapped at festival season this past year because I was closed from January to April, which is when a
Mm,
lot of people buy their like all their festival wear, or at least
hmm.
festival wear for the first part of the year. So yeah, that definitely was a big hit. Um, and as far as festivals for the rest of this year, I'm going to Apocalypse at the end of this
Nice.
month. One of my favorite, actually not one of my favorites, my favorite festival is Elenium's Ember Shores, which is the
Mm,
all-inclusive Cancun festival.
nice.
I've gone to that every year, minus last year, obviously, because it didn't happen. And then I think we're going to just stay local and do Countdown New Year's Eve because it's like right down the road from us.
Makes sense.
Um, and then next year, I'm trying to kind of not go to as many Insomniac shows just because there's like so many of them down here and it's just they all cost money. And we're gonna hopefully try to hit other festivals like Lost Lands again and actually
Hmm.
stay for the whole thing.
Nice.
We want to go to Base Canyon. We want to go to the Gorge in general. Might try to go to a Red Rocks show. Basically, just kind of try to get out of LA. Um, for yeah, we kind of just want to expand because like we've all done a lot of the Insomniac shows. And I'm just trying to kind of like steer clear of that now because, yes, I don't want to say it's getting old, but it's not as exciting as going to new shows, like new kinds of shows.
Come out to Arizona. We're one of the meccas for bass shows, and
Yeah,
we literally have like a big one every month. And then they're punctuated like every 3 months with a festival. Like we have
yeah.
wonderful weather all year. You know, you live in LA, so there's like 2 months of
It's
unbearable
hot.
heat.
It's hot though. That's the reason, huge reason why I haven't been to Arizona is because
It's
I have so many.
not.
It's like 150. You could fry an egg on a hood, like
In the
put in your
summertime,
car.
don't come in the summertime. The only person that plays in the summer is Millennium because he's a literal phoenix. But other than that, like everybody avoids a couple months, but right now it's like 80 and perfect. It is beach weather outside. We have plenty of beach, no water, but like all the weather
A
you could
beach, no
want.
water. Yeah.
So I get that a lot from people. They're like, "Oh, I would melt," and then they come here and they're like, "You have wonderful weather. What is everybody talking about?" It's we're characterized by our summer. You know us for our summer. Well, you hate us for our summer. That's okay. Don't come here in the summer. So enough about Arizona, though. So we've kind of put some trajectory on where you're going and the festivals that are coming next. And we briefly mentioned your jewelry. I want to talk about that before we get into our fun questions. And we have a lot of fun questions.
Yeah, so the jewelry, my mom actually, we started making jewelry together when I was homeschooled when I was 10, and she
Oh,
still, yeah, like shout out Kate. Um, my mom and I are super close.
nice.
I actually don't think I've mentioned this to you. I'm adopted. So, yeah, we have a very special bond. And when I was 10 or so, I was really not doing good in elementary school because
Mm,
the school I went to was like not great, but also I just had a lot of weird things going on in my brain. And so she homeschooled me for 5 years. And during that time, we started a business together, which was a jewelry business, and she's still running it. Um,
nice.
and then I started my clothing line. I get a lot of my inspiration as far as running the business from my mom and my science toy store that I used to work at. And when I was making clothes, I kind of found myself being like, I don't really have jewelry that like I want to wear with this. Um, a lot of it's just like different from what you
Okay.
would see like with festivals. And then after all of my jewelry burned,
No.
um, I was like, actually, this would be kind of a cool, like, sister business, maybe.
Yeah.
So I've started buying things mostly on Etsy, I would say. I'm trying to get everything like ethically sourced and having things be like sustainable and natural and um, just kind of pairing things together that I think would go well with my clothes, whether it's body chains, whether it's necklaces and earrings. Most of it is crystal based or like brass or again things that would kind of you typically
Mm-hmm.
see paired with braided clothes. Um,
Hippie
so
chic.
I'm really yes hippie chic. So I'm really excited to start that, and um, I've been loving doing it because again I have no jewelry, so it's been nice to be able to create and replenish my jewelry
Mm,
collection while also being able to like make some money because yeah, still trying to recover from that. A lot of people think like I'm just like set financially because of the Paris thing. And don't get me wrong, it definitely helped, but I also was out of work for 4 months.
Hmm.
So it didn't quite offset it, but yeah, so it's
That's
just
real.
a new direction with creativity and something that I have asked my mom a lot of advice about in the last couple months, trying to get it up and running. She's sent me tools, she sent me links for things, she sent me some advice.
Nice.
Um,
And
so yeah, I'm
I
excited
saw
to get
you
that up and going.
recently. I saw you recently polled your audience for a name, right?
Yes.
Are you ready to reveal it? Is it time or is it still in the works?
It's time because I actually started the Instagram this morning so I could share it here.
In the comments, go check the
um,
comments for her jewelry.
yes. So everyone knows crop it like it's hot. Because a lot of it's crystal based, I went with rocket like it's hot
Yes, that was my
because
vote.
yeah, a lot of people liked the crystals by Crop It, but
Hmm.
people were saying to just stick with the that very iconic username setup.
Hmm.
And I'm not going to have a new shop. I'm going to have just a link to that tab on my clothes
Hmm.
page so people will be able to visit both at the same time. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited for it. And I'm happy that I chose Rocket Like It's Hot just because that pun for Drop It Like It's Hot by Snoop Dogg
Yeah.
is amazing. And I kind of just wanted to recreate that with this. One of my winter lines, I think it was last year, I made Crop It Like It's Cold. That was like things that were like long sleeves,
Awesome.
more covered up a little bit. So I like just being able to play with my already made username and my brand
Hmm.
and stuff. And I think this kind of follows in suit with that.
Absolutely. Lines up with your brand. And we'll show
Yeah.
some of that jewelry here because seeing it on your Instagram is super cool. And as somebody who collects lots of crystals and rocks, you can't see behind my beautiful green screen here, but I have like a smorgasbord of trinkets and crystals. I
Very
tend to give
nice.
them out when I go to raves. I don't know if I have any handy,
Yeah.
but I
That's
give out
awesome.
little rune stones and I give people little special moments with them because why not? Uh, so the jewelry, I'm definitely gonna buy some.
Yay. Thank you.
I'm gonna go buy. In fact, where's the link? I'm gonna go buy it right now. Um, so now we get into the fun part, the silly questions, the part of the episode where it comes off the rails a little bit. We also were supplied with a number of questions from your audience for the first time ever. So you asked me really, what could I do to get ready for the episode? I was like, if you want to poll your audience for questions, and they did not disappoint. Some of them had to be scribbled out. That's like not appropriate boyfriend questions, right?
Oh my God.
We all have
Those
those.
were so silly.
Um,
Yeah.
but we have some here from your fans, from your audience, from the people who know you dear. And so I'm going to ask some of those questions first before we get into the silly questions, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Some of these are pretty serious. They don't necessarily belong in the serious question category, but they're still worth answering. So the first one here says biggest challenge for you run into often as a small business, and how do you continue to overcome it?
Um, that one's a hard one just because now that I have more of a like a name for myself, it's a little bit easier to just kind of like keep the momentum going. The
Mm-hmm.
hardest thing was getting started.
Mm.
The hardest thing was getting my name out there, having people think I was reliable, creating new things because I know some people run their small businesses in a way where they have drops and they have new things that
Mm-hmm.
they make and then you can't get it anymore. I don't do that. A lot of my things are always available, but I still, of course, do need to um, make new things to keep people interested. I have a few very dear customers who, when I look at their order history, I'm like, I don't know what else they could buy. Like they have literally everything. And they have my shrug, they have the leg warmers, which are like
Mm-hmm.
accessories, they have cat suits, they have bell bottoms, they have leggings, they have all the shirts, like everything. So I want to keep making new things for people like them. Um, so I would say that part, just kind of keeping things new and interesting while not drifting too far into the having drops. Um, Running the whole thing myself is definitely a challenge. The social media, I mean, I'm sure you know, the social media is an entire job for some people. So the fact that I'm running my social media doing the hashtags, making the reels, making content, shooting content, making it all look fun, making everything look shiny, doing the captions, all of that. That's like a whole like full slash part-time job that I do in addition to making everything and going to the post office and everything. And
Hmm.
just doing all of the things with my business, I would say is overall the biggest challenge. Aside from the creativity part, I hope that that like isn't like a cop out answer that just like doing all of it is a challenge, but I think just juggling all of it and the time management with it as well.
It's not easy being a one-woman army, and you can only
No,
slice up your time so much, even as efficiently as you want. And you still have to manage time for yourself. Your scene, right, as you're born into this, isn't because you wanted to have a business. It was because you enjoyed the music, you enjoyed the people and the vibe, and that's what drew you in. And at some point, if you lose that magic, you lose sight of why you do it in the first place. And
yeah,
so you still have to pie out, even if it's just a little line, just like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, for that little bit of
yeah.
joy.
And I also have a boyfriend and I'm very social. Like I'm a very social
Yeah.
person. So I want to go spend time with
Hmm.
all my friends in person. And sometimes I just, yeah, during the busy time season, I just can't. Sometimes I work weekends, most weekends during the summer and spring.
Well, thank you so much for taking time to do this interview. I don't know how you
Yeah.
made
Oh my
time
God, of
for it.
course. It's the
I
slow season, so it's okay.
got lucky on that one. I know if this had happened a few months later. Actually, this is releasing in December, so this is releasing during the like busy season for everybody. We're just recording wibbly wobbly timey wimey in our time machine here. Um, so our next question, and this is an interesting one because this is something I found out about you after following your pages and seeing your stories and stuff. But you have some really interesting hobbies, and I don't even want to call it hobbies. I want to like, art forms, like really truly, like you do some incredible art. And so one of
Thanks.
those questions was about that. Let's talk about your art.
Um, yeah, silks. I do silks, chains, and rope. And those are, I think I sent you photos
You
for
did.
all of those.
Bing,
Okay, cool.
bing.
Yay. Yeah, that I started when I was 15. And we basically had a local rec center after school program that had it, which is weird because my town is like less than 1,000 people.
Hmm.
Um, so having that there was super fun. And the circus community is very like the rave community where everybody's welcome,
Hmm.
respect, plur is very there. And I was lucky enough to find our two co-founders who have turned into basic like they are family. Shout out
Mm.
Bones and Holly.
Shout out Bones and
And
Holly.
they run the circus in my hometown, and they are just the most generous and amazing people I've ever met. And they took me to Burning Man for the first time when I was 18. We performed.
Awesome.
It was super, super fun. And they've just continued to share circus in our small community. One of the things that they do that's incredible, and the only reason why I was able to do circus is it's a very expensive,
Hmm.
classes are expensive. I couldn't afford it. My mom couldn't afford it. So they basically taught me how to teach, and they kind of had me do what they called like, I guess like a scholarship program
Nice.
where whatever classes I teach, I get a class too. So when I was 16, I started like being a teacher's aide, learning how to teach. And then by 17, I had my own class and I was able to teach. And so I was doing 4 days after school, well, 3 days after school, one weekend. And then I was also able to take four classes. So I was doing silks most days. Um, I think Friday and Wednesday were the only days that I weren't doing circus. And I was teaching and learning constantly. So by the time I left for college, I knew a lot of stuff and I was able to kind of continue it. Mainly when I came home during the summers, I would continue performing. And now that I'm like out in the world, it's been an amazing, as you said, like a hobby that started just as like a fun thing. All of it's volunteer because it's a
Hmm.
nonprofit. Their circus is a nonprofit. And I actually can make money doing this. I mean, I taught at the Hive in San Francisco. I'm currently teaching at the Ariel House in LA. And I feel weird sometimes getting paid because now that I have like a class base, I basically just feel like I'm going and hanging out with friends and showing them some stuff and then getting paid for it, which yeah, it just kind of feels weird. It doesn't really feel
Yeah,
like
but if
work.
you weren't there, nobody would be showing them stuff. Like you're kind of the important part of that special sauce.
I understand that, but it still feels weird sometimes.
Yeah,
But yeah, I feel so lucky to have found community in my hometown in San Francisco and LA because it's basically just having like little pockets of circus families all over, in addition to like all the rave families that I have like around the
love
country
that.
and a little bit in London.
So you shared a video with me of you doing silks, and I'm going to put that in the bumper at the end of this episode between the outro and our interview so that they can also see your incredible art because it is death-defying. It's really just it's crazy. I
It's
would
so
fall.
fun.
I would hurt myself.
You probably wouldn't like, you're not taught how to do a lot of the stuff for like a year plus that looks death defying.
Mm,
So
good to
I
know.
have a lot of faith that you would not hurt yourself.
Well, I appreciate the confidence. I guess I'll have to give it a go. Um, so we got one more fan question, and then we're going to get into our silly questions here. So for our next fan question, how do you accessorize a cat suit? This is actually a great question because it's already, an expensive thing to get a whole bodysuit, right? But then you can't just go in that. You got to go a little bit more. You're going over the top already with the full outfit. You got to go big. So where do you go from there? Other than rocket like it's hot earrings, right? That should be
Yeah,
number one.
the rocket like a hot earrings. I'm gonna start carrying um like body chains, so things that kind of go around the neck or things that
Oh.
go around here. But I love the look of having things go around your neck and then having things like splay out with chains and
Mhm.
having crystals hanging from it. I've seen people wear like little chain belts. I've
Mhm.
seen people wear leather and cloth utility belts
Okay.
with like a foxtail hanging from it or not. Clutch loop is fine too. Um, I've seen people, as far as shoes go, wear boots. I've seen
Oh,
people
good too.
wear like the tall boots. I've seen people wear garters. You can always accessorize it with my shrug, which always just is like a nice little add-on for things.
Mm.
I always wear my critter clips. Shout out critter clips.
Shout
And
out Critter Clips.
I've seen people wear fishnet gloves. One
Hmm.
thing that I've seen a lot with my rompers and shorts, leggings, and I guess you could do it with a cat suit too if you did like a full body thing, is a fishnet
Mm.
layering. So you have the fishnets underneath, the
That makes
braided
sense.
on top. For the longest time, I kind of looked at it on myself and I was like, I don't know if I like that. But then I saw a bunch of people doing it with my clothes and I was like, yeah, that looks awesome.
It does look good.
Um, so I really enjoyed kind of just playing with how to accessorize that. But a lot of it is definitely layering of things and to not just have the statement piece of the cat suit. It's like
Mm.
adding so much. I think all of us know with rave fashion that it's not just about the outfit, it's about how you wear the outfit with the accessories and everything.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. As a guy, brave fashion is one of those things where like maybe not as many guys are into it as they should be, but you guys will come along. I have faith in you out there. You're going to step up your game in 2026. It's going to be the year
Part
where
of it
guys are.
too is there's not a lot of options, I feel like, for
Oh,
guys, which is
so
really
true.
unfortunate.
I think options are limited. I think there's also just a limited amount of bold choices. I'm going to call you guys out
Yeah.
there, right? Like, just there's a certain level of confidence that certain people will have, and they'll just go shirtless. They're like, "This is my rave outfit now," and that's
It's also
wonderful.
hot. Like it's
It
also
is hot.
really hot too sometimes.
Oh yeah, I'd be one in the shirtless crew as well. But I go in layers, right? Because it's also all the photo ops, all the chance to hang out with the family and look
Yeah.
back and be like, "Look at this, look at that, look how cool we looked." And
Yeah.
I wasn't originally like that. I like to dress up in my normal life. I was also a theater geek, so like,
That's
being
awesome.
in costume all day. But when I went to raves, I was like, I'm dressing for comfort. I want comfy shoes. I'm gonna be here 8 hours.
Yeah.
This is cardio. I'm gonna
At
sweat. I need,
least.
right? Exactly. And then I started to go to them with other people who were getting into the fashion. My wife
Hmm.
will dress to the nines, full costume,
Yeah.
everything when we go out. And then it's like, no, I kind of want to do that too. And then you do it for the first time and you get out there and somebody walks by and they're like, boy, yeah, I see that shirt. Girl, that ass is assing. Get it out there. Right. And it just like
Yeah.
instills this special confidence in you that you're like, that's why. Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
extra, it's not even validation. It's just like positivity that people are pouring on you because you embrace the culture and the experience, and they see that and they want to applaud you for that embrace. And so I'm challenging all you guys out there too. Go get your own crop it like it's hot. Go get your own slit weave tank top and get out there and rock that. So now that I've called out half the of our audience and they're going online right now and ordering your tank top, um, we're going to get into the silly questions. This is my favorite part because I write all these.
Awesome.
My first question, and this is an oldie but a goodie, great classic, my icebreaker. What's your favorite Pokemon?
I didn't play Pokemon when I was younger. I know.
Oh! Okay, okay,
I
okay.
know. I'm so sorry. I mean, Pikachu's super cute. I literally like that's like kind of the only one I know complete. Like, yeah, honest answer. I didn't watch a lot of like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, any type of that.
Okay. What was your genre? What do you like? You like monster movies? Are you a fantasy
I mean,
girl?
these days I would say mostly dramas, romantic comedies, psychological thrillers. When I was younger, definitely a Disney kid, not so, I mean, Disney kid, not like the princesses, but like Lion King, things
Sure,
like that.
absolutely.
That was like one of my favorite movies for a long time. And I liked a little bit of anime at one point, like as a tween, and then I kind of grew out of that too. But yeah, all-time favorite show is How I Met Your Mother. I know that's like
Okay, him yim. Love it.
such a classic millennial answer, but
Excellent, excellent show. Have you watched the spinoff?
I that was a train wreck. I got through like episode 2 and I kind of just stopped watching it. I did not like it.
It's real bad by comparison, but
Yeah.
I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. If you enjoy it, go enjoy it. Okay, so question one started as Pokemon, ended up as him yum. We're on good for the chaos. All right. Question number two. Have you ever walked by somebody else wearing a Rave fit and think, I want that. I need to wear that. Where did
Oh
you get
yeah.
that? And what
Yeah.
was it?
Oh my God, there are so many times. I mean, Sassy Pants, the label, I know that was one of them. A lot of the time it's I Heart Raves, I have to say,
Okay.
just because it's super cute. Vanishing Fae, Disco Lemonade. That's not so much one that I don't know where it's from. I just look at it and I'm like, I want that. Um, just yeah, I love all the sparkles. Um, a lot of Fractal Witch too.
Okay.
She's newer-ish, but she's really popped off in the last couple of years. That's also another one that I know what that is.
Mm,
Like I can see it and spot it in a crowd, know exactly who made that. Um,
that's awesome.
yeah, there are, this is going to sound weird, but because I'm so in fashion, in festival fashion, there's not a lot that I look at. And the question is, where did you get that? I want it. It's just, I
Mm,
want it. And it looks amazing on them because I know where most of these people got their clothes because I'm like
awesome.
so in it. Um, and trying to think of one other business. I know a lot of the time when I look at people's pashmina
Hmm.
outfits, it's by Spun Glasses.
Okay.
And yeah, they have incredible stuff, and they use a rainbow pashmina fabric that I just adore, and I have a couple of them. Critter clips, obviously, most of my ears are from critter clips, especially now since the other ears that I had are gone.
No.
um, and yeah, it's also just really cool walking around festivals and seeing people wear my clothes too. Like it's
Yeah.
one of the most magical moments is going to a show and seeing someone wear my stuff. Either somebody recognizes me or I just go up to them and I'm like, hey, I think I made your romper or I made your bell bottom. Like, are you crop it like it's hot? Like,
Yes, I
one of
am.
one of the coolest moments was my the year I went to Electric Forest, and I
Hmm.
remember that I was sitting in the hammock area just watching people go by as we were just chilling, and I was pointing out every like couple minutes, like I made that. I made that. My friend who was sitting next to me in the hammock, he was like, "Did you make that one? Did you make that one? Is that one yours?" And some of them were, and some of them weren't, because like obviously there's a lot of other braided artists
Hmm.
out there. But it was pretty cool because he got really good by the end of the weekend, knowing which one was mine and which one wasn't.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love our community's fashion sense so much.
What a wild journey for it to go from your shop where you're sitting, right, in your hands as you do your thing, and then it travels out to where they're at for them to put it on and
Yeah.
bring it with them, and then you see it. It's like that was in my hands a few weeks ago.
I always say like I love seeing you guys in the wild. Like that's like my favorite thing is being able
Nice.
to spot it out there.
Well, if you have one of her outfits, I challenge you to go share it on Instagram, go share it on TikTok, tag Rave Daddy, tag me, Bebop Life, and I want to share them all with this episode. We'll keep a whole train of you guys' awesome outfits going.
Thank you.
Parade, crop it like it's hot. So, question number three. This is a fun question and sometimes a complicated one because normally it's a DJ who has to answer this question. So you're getting to
Ooh,
answer from the DJ suite of
okay.
crazy questions. I normally ask them if they had a DJ power or if they had a superpower related to how they play as a DJ, what would their superpower be? You being a seamstress could be anything. If you had a superpower, what would you want it to be if it related to your business?
Being able to make the ass cheeks even real fast because that is the hardest thing to do is making those ass cheeks symmetrical
Oh man.
because I don't want anybody walking around with asymmetrical ass cheeks. That's not
Mm-mm.
cute. And I've seen, not going to say businesses, obviously, but I've seen
Called out.
braided clothes
Mm-hmm.
where it's like a half an inch over here from the seam and then like an inch over here. And I'm like, what? How did you let that leave your house?
Yeah.
And so it's really important to me, not only that it like is even, but also that it lines up because I don't want like, it's a very intricate braiding style a lot of the time. And I get it. It's hard to make them line up. It takes a lot of time, but you got to do it. Cause
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah. And I feel like maybe the opinion of some of them, maybe some of them they don't notice. I don't know. But a lot of it too, I'm sure comes from like when you're walking or when you're dancing, it's not that you're not going to notice. And I don't think a lot of people do notice because they still buy it and stuff. But it's like my like one, I'm not very OCD. It's like my like one OCD thing where like I want those ass cheeks to match where if you pose in a photo, it's gonna line up
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
stuff. It's part of the reason why my prices are a little higher than some is that it takes me like a while to get things to be,
Attention to detail. Yeah.
yeah,
That's quality control. And
it is
absolutely.
quality control. Yeah.
I I am OCD. As a former military man, like I want everything
Okay.
to line up
Yeah.
perfectly. I don't mind if there's controlled chaos, but I love symmetry. Even asymmetry
Yeah.
needs to be in balance with its asymmetrical self. So when I see stuff like that, I notice it. And if I'm in a picture and I'm like, oh, my wardrobe is malfunctioning, this is not correct. I won't post
Yeah.
that picture. It's not going to see the light of day. Even if nobody else is going to notice that extra inch, I will.
Yeah.
You don't want anybody to be unsatisfied by an inch.
No, and it's just yeah, it would bother me. So
Absolutely. So, question number four. If you could go to any festival in the world and have a fashion show at the festival, which festival would it be and why?
probably Burning Man. I'd probably go back
Ooh,
to Burning Man just because so many, I mean, all of my clothes would go super well. They'd be super comfortable dressing with that whole hippie chic vibe. Um,
nice.
and the whole world is there. I feel like if I were to choose something like Base Canyon or something, amazing event. Haven't been yet, but I know it's amazing. But like, I feel like people from the US mostly go there, but Burning Man is such a world stage. I think that would
Mm-hmm.
be amazing. And it would just open up a whole new demographic of people. There would be circus people there too. Like it just, yeah, world stage, absolutely hands down Burning Man. And I want to go back because it was the best there.
Absolutely. I haven't been, but we have the AZ
Okay,
burners here in Arizona that take a
I'm sure. Yeah.
caravan of
Hmm.
like crazy cars and circus equipment out there every year. And I love it. The embrace of art and culture and just allowing yourself to fully escape is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
So, question number five. If you were given an unlimited budget to create your next line, how would it be different from what you do now?
I think I would probably, this I would have to hire people for. So again, unlimited budget.
Unlimited budget.
Unlimited budget. I think I would try working in leather actually,
Oh,
because I
snap.
haven't seen people do slit weave and leather. I think I would also try again, unlimited budget.
Mhm.
The sequin fabric that
Okay.
I'll be working or that Vanishing Faye will be working with, I would love to do some of that myself as well. Um, just to kind of like keep it all localized, and also just because it would be fun to kind of just pick my own fabrics and go do it. But
Mm,
that fabric is so hard to work with. But yeah, I mean, I would love to do things like hoods and bell bottoms. Like I would love to make a whole bunch of different outfits. They would have to be a lot of money, unfortunately, because of how much time. Also, that fabric is so expensive. Like I know people have complaints about how expensive sequined outfits are, but um, I don't know if people have ever looked at how much the fabric is. It's like $40 a yard.
mm-hmm,
It's not like buying cotton, which is like 10 or $5 a
mm-hmm.
yard sometimes. Plus just yeah, all the time to get it to actually connect with sewing and stuff. Fun fact, I don't sew. Um,
No way.
so no, I don't sew. Braided clothing is altered clothing. Like
Okay.
I'm technically like a clothing alterer. So I just cut and braid it. Yeah, whenever I have to sew something for like my
Mm-hmm.
non-rave stuff, I have to ask someone else. So yeah, again, unlimited budget. I would have to hire a bunch of seamstresses to do a whole bunch of that because um, I also don't really have much interest in learning how to sew. I'm going to learn how to sew at some point, but it's not going to be for manufacturing purposes, so that I don't have to go ask
Mm.
someone or friends or anybody to help me with that. But yeah, it's a misconception with my business.
I love that your unlimited funds includes hiring a bunch of people and making quality like it wasn't like I'm gonna buy a helicopter and fly to Guam or something. You're like,
That doesn't have to do with my business, though.
well, you'd be surprised. You got to go check out the fashion somewhere else. Well, it could get expensive. You just end up on a bunch of trips.
Yeah, I
You're like,
mean,
I want a factory. I want people. I want work.
yeah, yeah. I mean, people have asked me like, have I considered hiring people? And I'm like,
Mm,
of course I've considered hiring people. Like, I'm exhausted a lot of the time, but I don't know if that would be financially smart right now. And
that's real.
I also, because I work from home, don't really know if I want people around. Um,
That seems
and
like a pretty big cosign that you would need behind to back that.
yeah, and it's just, I pride myself on being a one woman show. And
That's real.
I don't really know if I am ready to emotionally let go of my baby. I mean, I celebrate my birthday every year, my business's birthday.
Nice.
I can send you some photos of what I do every year, but I
Definitely.
always get
Bing,
my
bing.
bing. I always
You
get my
got it.
business. I always get my business a birthday gift and get like logoed cupcakes and
Nice.
have like a little celebration. All of my friends came over this year, which was super sweet. We like got a cake and all of them came over and we like celebrated with like a little photo shoot and stuff.
That's
And
great.
yeah, it's been a whole journey. Like I don't I'm not having kids. I'm child free. So I can definitely feel that a lot of my like maternal instinct is being poured into
Mm,
this. So I'm not really sure if I'm ready to have somebody come in and do social media, talk to people online, so learn how to braid, like learn how to
mm.
tie dye and stuff. Like I don't really know if I want to do that. So
Wait till your business is old enough to drink and then we'll talk.
maybe so, maybe so.
Awesome. Well, that concludes my silly questions, but as a dovetail, is there any question you didn't get asked today that you would have loved to answer?
I have a hard time remembering the ones that people submitted.
I can pull them up.
Oh, Hurricane Raver, Mariah asked
Hmm.
me what it was like. I maybe I kind of answered this too, but she asked what it was like going from like the lowest of low points with the fire to the
Mm.
highest of highs. One word, which is whiplash, because I would not wish on my worst enemy, not that I have any, but I would not wish on somebody that I didn't like to go through what I went through
Mm.
because um, losing everything and then in the coming days having weird PTSD flashbacks of remembering something you had and then recognizing again that it's gone is like
Mm.
getting re-stabbed a bunch. And it really, it was awful. Like it was just so awful losing everything and knowing that nothing was going to be covered either. So Um, and just knowing that my baby was gone. I mean, it was like a
Mm,
death. Like having the fire, losing everything personal and my business was like a two-in-one of loss and grief.
mm.
Because when the fire happened, I knew I wasn't going to continue. Like I knew I was going to have to go get like a normal job. And I really didn't want to do that because um, I don't want to work for anybody.
Mm,
And I, yeah, so to have that happen, I still have a lot of PTSD symptoms, and I still have depression a lot because of it. And so to have that happen in January, apply in February, and then hear around the end of March, early April, that I not only can start my shop up again, but also the publicity that I got. That was a very like jarring thing, and it happened overnight. I mean,
mm.
this was like truly something that happened overnight. So I would say when she asked the question, like, what does it feel like? It felt like whiplash, and I was riding that high for quite a few months, and was really busy and really stressed. And in a way, thank God that it's calmed down because I literally was not going to be able to sustain that. Rob, my boyfriend, is like so sweet and so supportive, and he would always just kind of pop his head and be like, "You okay? Have you eaten lunch yet?" And
Oh,
like bring me food and stuff, and make sure that I was like eating and making sure that I was like more or less going to bed on time to like wake up and do it again. And he takes me on all of my post office runs and everything.
oh, that's
So
so sweet. I love that.
he's like the best. He's like the most supportive person. And again, very happy I moved down here. Really happy
Hmm.
that decision was not a bad one. Um, and yeah, he's awesome.
I love
But
hearing that.
yeah, yeah. And I also just love that with the whole Paris thing. I mean, you can also see that's another photo that I sent. He's with me in the Pride photos
Hmm.
with Paris in her trailer and stuff. And he's always just kind of like he considers him like waving his pom poms, like being like the supportive boyfriend, going with me to all these events and like doing all the photo shoot things and
Hmm.
being my photographer when I'm having to do photo shoots and stuff. So yeah, I say it's a one woman show, but I also couldn't do it without him at this point. Like I would not want to go to all these events by myself, and
Oh,
um, taking photos of myself is just hard because like you can't see
yeah,
the other
definitely.
side.
Always good to have that good Insta husband or Insta boyfriend.
Yeah,
And guys, get better at taking pictures. I don't know what your problem is. That blurry, like half cop nonsense. Like, get it, and there's a grid.
he's gotten so good. Like
It's
I
got a
and had to like
target.
it's got to be from the right angle. You got to know what you're looking for. You got
Hmm.
to tell me if I have a tag sticking out or like
Definitely.
my hair looks weird or like I have
Where's the
yeah,
light coming from? Or, you know what, that
yeah.
wasn't your best one. Let's do it again, baby. Like, I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So it's, yeah, I would say that this whole thing has just been a lot's happened this year.
Well, it certainly has been a good one. Um, on the way out, I always like to give people the opportunity to have a little soapbox to say whatever they want to their audience, to their fans, to their friends and family. Sometimes it's as simple as thank you, and sometimes you have something you really want to get off your chest. So now's your opportunity. The floor is yours. You have the mic.
I've been thinking about this all episode because I did not know that
Hmm.
was going to be a question. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with thank you. Not just thank you for supporting my business, but thank you for believing in me to get back up and continue this because after the fire, I was done. Like
Mm.
there was no way. And I got hundreds of messages on Facebook, on Instagram. I got sent dozens of packages, so many cards. I have up above my work table a bulletin board of all the cards that I was sent and the letters.
Hmm.
I had so much candy made for me because I lost all my candy,
Amazing.
and I have yeah more than I know what to do with, more than I had before for sure. And just, yeah, thank you so much for getting the word out that my business burned, getting the word out that um, I was coming back at the very least to make those outfits. Because one thing I hadn't decided was I basically gave people the opportunity to cancel their order or
Hmm.
wait until I reopen. And I'm very grateful to the people who kept their orders in. Um, and when I reopened my shop, thank you to all the people who spread the word that I was reopening. they all did a great job saying I was closed. I didn't want that news to stay that Crop It Like It's Hot had closed. Like I wanted people to know that
Mm,
it was open again. Um, I could not have done this without this community. If this had happened in any other um, industry, I guess, where there is no community, where you're
hmm.
just whatever, I would not have been able to restart. It was literally because of who we are as festival goers, as ravers, that I was able to feel all that love and restart. Um, and I guess, yeah, overall, my message is just shop small because there's a lot of small businesses who are working day in and day out. And there are other businesses in our community who are drop shipping things from parts unknown. And it's not very ethical. And I personally try to source my things from ethical places. And I know a lot of other people do too. Etsy's a great place to go for things like that. And yeah, just try to keep our money in the community. I know that it's paying a little bit of extra, but you are also paying somebody a living wage. So,
Something that after I went through a pretty rough time, somebody said to me has stuck with me for a long time, which is ravers take care of our own.
yeah.
And shout out to everybody, near and small, whether you're taking care of Crop It Like It's Hot because she's awesome and you're getting one of her outfits, or you're just taking care of the people next to you, your rave fam, your best friend, your girlfriend, whoever it happens to be. That really is what makes us a community. In some ways more than just a community because it's a community that cares. It's a tribe of people who want to look out for each other, even when the chips are down.
Yeah. It's been really interesting seeing how much it's grown over time because I've been raving since I was 17 and it's been through a lot of different phases and it's
You
going
mean you're
through a
not
different phase.
17 now?
No, I'm 30. A lot of people think that I'm younger because a lot of ravers kind of peter off after 25. But yeah, I'm happy to still be here. I can't imagine not raving. Um, yeah, it's going through a lot of different phases, and I'm interested to see like where it goes still because it's like constantly evolving.
Yeah, I would agree. It is really still constantly evolving. There's new things happening every day, and 2026 promises to be another incredible year. So, thank you for joining us on our Christmas
Yeah, of
episode.
course.
A little
Love that.
gift for everybody. And now is a great time to go shop if you're looking for gifts. Rock it
Thanks.
like it's hot, crop it like it's hot, every little bit, drop it like it's hot, go get it and put it in a box and share it with somebody.
Love
Speaking of
that.
places to shop, why don't you give any shout outs you want, mom, dad, your favorite places to go? Anyway, you already gave a ton of shout outs, but on our way out, let's hit those favorites.
Um, I always wear Critter Clips, so I'm going to shout out them. Love their clothes and their ears. Spun glasses if you want really cute clothes and custom glasses for accessorizing. Um, I know Light and Sound Co. is kind of getting started. A lot of her clothes are very custom, very comfortable. Fractal Witch, I know I already mentioned.
Hmm.
Um, Trying to think of oh, Basehead Beads. There we go. That was the one that I thought of.
Basehead beads, nice.
Basehead Beads. They make their own beads. And if you go to Critter Clips, I actually have a collab ear line with Critter Clips. It's called the That's Hot ear because of Paris, of course. And Basehead Beads made this ear possible because they made fire emoji beads for the That's Hot part.
Nice.
And yeah, we could not do that collab without them. So I love it that the collab ear with Critter Clips was kind of like a trio. And yeah, I have a lot of other businesses. I should have made a list, as Mariah said, but
Everybody
those are
said,
some off the top of my head that
yeah,
I really love, and that we kind of all are um, in a similar fashion genre. Go support local. Like I said,
yeah,
shop small. That was my main message because yeah, they basically created that holiday space before people go and spend money with corporations. Like we love to keep the money in the community and just supporting each other and supporting other ravers.
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Fully endorse. You heard it here at Ready VIP. Thank you, Hana, for a wonderful interview, for sharing your stories with us. You have been a absolutely incredible VIP. I always try to give
Thanks.
our VIPs the last word.
Stay ready, VIPs.
Hey.
I've been here before. If you want, go ahead, start a war. It's not that I'm brave, it's that I would rather die than for things to stay this way. Losing means nothing if there's nothing to lose. What do you want from me tonight? You wanna burn down everything inside. I'm not afraid of a little fire. So light your matches, and I will rise from the ashes. From the ashes. From the ashes. So light your matches, and I will rise from the ashes. The flames fill my lungs, burning up everything I've become. It's not that I'm brave, no, it's that I've been here before, and I know I'll be okay. Losing means nothing if there's nothing to lose. What do you want from me tonight? You wanna burn down everything inside. I'm not afraid of a little fire. So light your matches, and I will rise from the ashes. From the ashes. From the ashes. So light your matches, and I will rise from the ashes. So light your matches, and I will rise from the ashes.
Yo, how you feeling now? Everybody,